What is going on, guys? So this is part 7 of the Range Rover rebuild, and I'm gonna get in the good, bad, and ugly of this thing. So let's get into it. The suspension is fixed, you guys. Raising and lowering. Turn this park assist off. Raising with no issues. Now, I will dive into all that in a second and tell you how I fixed it and what the issue was. But first, I want to say, all right, full disclosure, this originally was my wife's idea, this Range Rover, okay? I initially wanted a different truck. I wanted a new truck, new pickup truck, and my wife insisted that she wanted this Range Rover. So I'm stuck driving my 15-year-old truck, and we got this Range Rover. However, I must say, I've got to say, you guys, I fell in love with this thing, man. It is so much fun to drive. I now see why, you know, people fall in love with these Range Rovers, man. Super, you know, V8, lots of power. Comfortable air suspension, you know, steering adaptive, suspension adaptive, lots of power, fast, man. This thing is fun to drive. I gotta say, I fell in love with it, and I enjoy driving it, man. It's lots of fun, even with all the little quirks. So there is still a couple issues, but I've been driving this thing for about a month or two, on and off. I'll get into all the problems I still have, but first let's talk about the suspension and how I fixed it. So, alright, so it turned out to be just a compressor. I ordered a aftermarket one, cheap one, off of Amazon. I think it was around 152 bucks, compared to, you know, 350, 500 for certain of the dealer brands and higher end brands. But it's been 2 or 3 months and it's been working perfect. You know, pumping up the suspension with no issues, you know, no problems. Now, if I can get a year or two out of it, and I may have to replace it again. It was super easy to replace. You can watch one of my other videos. I kind of went more into depth where bolt locations and where the lines run. But yeah, it was super easy to replace, so I'm not too concerned about it. If it does burn out, like I said, if I get a year or two out of it, I'll be happy, because it's working perfect right now. Maybe some of you can let me know. I know it makes sense to me, right, that, for instance, when I open the rear doors or I open the trunk, it lets the air out of the suspension. Now, I'm assuming that's to lower the height so, you know, people can get in and get out. I don't know if that's a programmable feature or if there's a way to stop that, because I think after a while, I mean, it's not an issue right now, but I would imagine after a while it may burn out the compressor, constantly letting the air out and constantly putting it back in. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. If anybody has any information on that, I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, that fixed my suspension issue. It's been, like I said, it's been working fine for a couple months. I still have the left front ride height sensor that I showed you guys some of the wiring issues. It's still not reading. It's still saying invalid communication. It's not reading that ride height sensor. It doesn't seem to affect the performance of the suspension. I think maybe just choosing, you know, if you were taking this thing off-road or something, it would probably come into play. But there is still a suspension light and a suspension fault on my dash. That is the only fault that's left. is that ride height sensor. Everything else seems to be working smoothly. I do still have a voltage drain on the battery. If I leave it hooked up for a couple of days, it will drain the battery. So I'm having to disconnect it. I'm probably going to get a kill switch for the time being, just because I don't have what's it called, a digital voltometer, or you know, try to measure voltage readings, try to see what's draining the battery. But it's fairly, you know, it may last for a couple days, and then eventually it just gets too low, and that's it, and it will drain it completely. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that voltage drain on the battery. I wish I knew. I wish I could do more research, you know, with this crazy COVID-19 and all the family. Haven't had as much time to devote. But all I've been doing is disconnecting the battery at night, and if I want to take this thing for a drive, I'll just reconnect the battery. It seems to be fine. But yeah, other than that ride height sensor, some trim pieces on the left side here, and whatever's draining the battery. Initially, I thought this was a design in the dashboard because it kind of looks like it was laid out, but no, that's for sure just the Texas sun. The Texas sun putting some cracks in our dashboard, but it's not too bad. I mean, I'm just putzing around. This is just a backup ride for us anyways. I probably won't invest. That's too much money for me to mess with, but man, this thing is, I'm enjoying it. It was fairly, you know, it wasn't too complicated to fix. Once I found out what the issue was, it was super easy. But yeah, man, this thing is, I've been having a blast driving this thing. I'm so glad that we ended up getting it. I'm glad I like it, you know. But it is super fun to drive. I see the appeal. I see why people love these things, and I'm now a fan. And this is even a 2006, you know what I mean? So this is a little bit older, but it's still super fun to drive, man. I didn't think it was going to be this much fun. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. It's a truck power in an SUV with air suspension. You know what I mean? If you're a car guy or a truck guy, this thing is fun, man. And you know, the seats, leather seats, are comfortable. The sound system sounds great, and it's a 2006, and it feels like a newer car, you know what I mean? I love cracking open the sunroof, rolling down the windows, getting some fresh air and floating. It's fun, man. This thing's fun. So I'm gonna keep you guys up to date. I'll probably show you guys a video on, you know, fixing some of the trim pieces. If I can get that I'm gonna get the kill switch hooked up and try to find where that voltage drain is on the battery. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this helps some of you guys out, and I'll show you guys the finished product, and you know how much everything costs and how much I have into this Range Rover. But yeah, man, just want to let you guys know I am driving this thing. Sorry I didn't update you guys sooner. I'm driving this thing around, having a blast, and getting the kinks worked out. But it's, for the most part, it's all together. It's just a couple, you know, details, fine details I gotta fix up, and this thing will be 100%. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope this helps some of you out, and definitely like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. I know I gotta replace the stabilizer links and motor mounts on my my Volkswagen Routan, our family van. So that'll probably be the next video, just a little DIY motor mounts. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. You take care of yourself. Stay safe with this COVID craziness. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. I also forgot to thank you guys. We hit officially past 100 subscribers. It's huge. I didn't think we would get there this fast. I want to thank all of you for liking and subscribing and leaving comments. I greatly appreciate it. And you know, hopefully we can grow bigger. And yeah, just thank you guys so much. And we'll talk to you next time. You guys take care. Also, I forgot to mention to you guys something I found out with the battery voltage, okay? I saw it in the forums, but I actually experienced it firsthand. So, as I mentioned, I had a voltage drain on the battery. So, as the battery would get low, I would be able to jump start it, but it was just too much. This thing has so many electrical components that as you drive it, it's still draining the battery far over what the alternator could replenish it. It was just too low. But so anyways, when that happened, it started going haywire, okay? All kind of faults and flashing. Generally, the main thing you'll notice is the nav screen will actually start flashing, you know, and all kind of components will start going crazy. The radio will say low power mode, all kind of crazy stuff. So if you're having some of those issues, definitely I would check first your battery voltage and make sure your battery's fully charged, your alternator's working properly, because it was causing all kind of crazy faults. Even transmission gear selection was going off just from a low battery. So yeah, definitely if you're having some extra issues, check that out. Check your voltage, you know, and make sure you got enough current to run this thing. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys. So just to show you guys, we are on the road, man. This thing super quiet, super fun, nice and smooth ride.